My name is Manoj Padmanabhan, and I lead the business development for media and entertainment across India and SAARC regions. And Mahesh, I hope...
I don't know, you guys were the same audience, but I'll repeat again. My name is Maheshwaran. I'm a principal solution architect for media and entertainment as an industry at AWS. My charter is to support all the media houses in India and SAARC regions for all their cloud adoption journey. So that's my charter all about.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So in the earlier session, you heard about how generative AI is actually helping some of the startup customers and the large enterprises to solve many of their business problems. What we are trying to do in this session is trying to say how AWS is helping all the startup in the M&E space. So just to give you a dope of what you need to do, what is the industry trends, we will focus more on the industry per se first, and then come to how AWS is helping, and then we are free for a one-on-one session, we can always catch up. Before we start, I think there is nobody better than Jeff Bezos to talk about how a startup can become the biggest startup in the world. So I always lead by this, and whenever on any startup forum or any of the bigger forums when me and Mahesh address, I think this is our passionate slide, because this tells you the real truth. When you go and talk to a customer, the customer can be a B2B customer, an enterprise customer, or an individual customer. He's always happy. But at the end of the day, there is something going on behind his man, which he will not tell you till the time you actually probe into it. The more we start asking him the questions, the more we probe into it, we get the problems. We take back those problems, and then we design and create models. And that's where Amazon actually built in. So if you look at a very small problem, I want to shop, but okay, I don't want to go. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. But somebody told you, okay, can I bring the shopping cart into your house? Fantastic. So the customer is always happy, but you keep probing. So the first mantra for any startup who is in the ecosystem is basically start probing the customer. The customer is going to give you a lot of feedback on that. With that, let me just check to the context of what we are trying to show. First, we are trying to show what are the trends happening in the industry globally. This is not just our India, but globally what is happening. Then I want to talk about what is the M&E overview. How do we operate and how are we helping you in the startup ecosystem? Then some of the solution areas that we have developed, which you can take it to build your models. And last, how are we helping the startups in terms of funding? But at the end of the day, you need to make money out of it, right? And you need to spend less. So that is where we step in and we actually help you. Coming back to the trends, if you look at it, it's very seamless. You know, there is no rocket science to explain. You have all been living in this field. We have seen the transition. And I have a beautiful quote which said that if there is a poster boy for digital transformation, it is media and entertainment. Nothing has changed like media and entertainment in the last few years, where your complete consumption pattern and personalization has gone in. So if you look at it, the behavioral patterns have changed. No longer you're glued onto a particular set to always watch the content. Technology has disrupted. Mahesh and Punya spoke about how the entire technology is facilitating you. And then the third, the immersive personalized experience. It's no longer a queue with all the colors on different sides. It's just mixed. From real world, you can enter into a virtual world. From virtual world, you can come out into the real world. I need to be entertained. My time is limited. My attention span is limited. And the fourth, intellectual property. Why? Because on the digital media, there is a customer. The customer has got detail. At the end of the day, you want to make money. You can make money either by taking money from him as a subscription, or you can take money by giving advertisements. For both, you need to create your intellectual IP. So these are the four mantras that are there in the M&E ecosystem, based on which startups are creating their models. And also, this is something that you can take it from here. Now, just to give you the landscape, because when you say digital, geography is actually history, right? Because there is no geography for you now. You can build a product, you can build an ecosystem, and you can travel all over the world. 1/5 of every person in this world, okay, is an Indian. And that is the power of India. And I'm not quoting this. All the panels throughout the last 3 days have been talking about this mantra, that we are the powerful content creators, and technology here is trying to facilitate. So whether it is a content production, whether it is handling the media part of it, whether it is distribution, everywhere, startup ecosystem plays a very pivot important role. Getting on to the next one, how are we different in terms of supporting these startups? So what are we different? There are so many cloud operators all over the world. There are people supporting you. How are we different? We have got the core products, which is your compute, your storage, and database. But more than that, we also have a lot of solutions that we build. But the diversified point that we have got is, we have a huge community of partners, which means that today you have an idea, you want to create a product, you are in the startup ecosystem, you don't have to build everything. You can plug and play the partner ecosystem and develop what you exactly want to do it. That's pace, because you need to be in front of the customer. The attention span of every media entertainment customer is coming down. They are not going to be in front of the screen for a long time. How are you going to catch them is the mantra. I'm just trying to wrap up certain things because these are all, since it's called a masterclass, I'm trying to see what maximum information I can pour into you. For anything that you want to deep dive on it, we are available. We'll stay outside for half an hour. We are more happy to explain to you. Now look at this. What happens? There is builders. So we have got our native AWS services, which you can definitely use. I spoke about purpose-built AWS. Then we are there to guide. So there are experts like Maheshwaran, Punya Pratadas, who are the experts in the media technology part of it, who will help you to build the solution, help you to do a well-architected review, and make you understand what works and what does not. And then on the other place is the buyers. So like what I said, you make a fantastic product, but as long as it doesn't sell, if there is no money coming in, how are you going to make the business model? The startup ecosystem doesn't survive on that. So I am helping you. I mean, AWS is actually helping you to reach to the buyers. The buyers can be a B2C consumer. The buyers can be a B2B conglomerate or an enterprise. You will not be able to reach them directly, but using AWS, you can always reach them directly. And that's the shortcut that we are trying to create so that you are able to innovate and focus on your product. So what we did is, as media and entertainment globally, we understood that every particular workload or every particular thing that you do can be superbly classified into these buckets. The reason being, the problems there are in content production is not the same problem in data science analytics. So if I have a startup who's working on content production, like what Mahesh told in the generative AI slide, that he wants to produce the content, then the problems and the solutions are all very different. I just want Mahesh to take you through all the kind of products and services. Why are we different? Why AWS is different? I said we have got our core primitive services, which is storage. Other than that, we have got these elemental stage of products which will help you.
Yeah, please. So AWS provides you the broadest set of services for all the media, whatever is being required for media and entertainment, we provide you the broadest with the deepest functionality, right? So I want to touch upon a few AWS managed services that are going to be useful to stitch a complete media workflow for you. And before that, let me also touch upon, like, all these services are going to be a managed services. What is managed services? You don't need to worry about any infrastructure. Your service is already available. You can just interact with those services and create a business value. Or either you can actually combine multiple services to create your business value, right? So all the heavy lifting is being taken care by the AWS itself. And there are a lot of benefits in terms of that. One, you only focus on the content. You no need to worry about the infrastructure, creating a very complex video pipeline. Trust me, I've done a lot of video pipelines and it's going to be very complex infrastructure required, right? In terms of management. And AWS makes it very easy because it's going to be completely a managed service for you. The other one is that you can build and adopt and innovate, right? Which is basically all these services you don't need to have extraordinary knowledge to really use. It's going to be a click and provision all your services for your business value. So it's going to be as simple as possible to create a very complex workflow for you, right? So you can innovate it very quickly, you can change it very quickly as part of your workflow, all right? The third one is that it meets your scale demand. So in media and entertainment, the scaling is very important. Today you have 1 million customers, tomorrow you will have 10 million customers and so on, right? And AWS is going to help you in complete scaling. So either it is going to be a content requirement or it's going to be an audience size. For example, today you are working on full HD or 2K, tomorrow it will be like 8K. You need to have good servers to really manage, process, and deliver that particular content, right? And AWS will have all the infrastructure for you in spite of that content requirement changes, right? The second one is the audience sizes, right? As we talked about, we have 1 million, 10 million customers, we will be able to scale completely. And the third one is that it is completely unmatched speed and security, right, that we give you. Because all these type of managed services are built in the global infrastructure of AWS. And whatever content that you put on AWS is owned by you, right? It's exclusively for you, and the environment is for you. And any type of a transfer of the content, everything is going to be encrypted and in a safer way, right? So this is very important. And what it makes is that you only focus on creating, compiling content to the users. Don't worry about the infrastructure. Don't worry about the managing the whole workflow. It is all taken care by the AWS. Now, let's touch upon few type of services that we offer. First one is the AWS Elemental. This is basically a hardware application. We don't only give you the cloud-based managed services, we also offer you hardware-based encoders as well, so which is Elemental. This is predominantly used in on-premises for you, and it is used for the live encoding. So it's a media Elemental Live, which is used for the live encoding. It is used for 24/7 or for the ad hoc events as well, in a secure live encoding process. Next one. Elemental Link. Elemental Link is an extraordinary product. It's a type of a 3-inch box for you, right? It's also an hardware, and it is a 3-inch box which is completely configuration free for you. All you have to do is procure this particular Elemental Link from AWS console, and then you have to plug and play the whole stuff. When I say plug and play, what happens is you have a camera here, you have an SDA output, right? It takes an SDA as an input, and you connect a RJ45, you get the live stream securely onto the cloud. You don't need to do anything. All you have to do is plug and play. We also support not only SDI, we also support HDMI as well as an input, and all you have to have an internet connection to do that. And it also have a mechanism to transport this particular stream very securely, and also it has, does it in an adaptive bitrate fashion as well. Depending upon the network conditions, it will be able to switch the quality and push it onto the cloud for you. Right. We also give two variants. One is for the HD and another for the UHD as well. So we have two applications. Now comes all the AWS managed services. These two are the hardware application appliances for you, which is predominantly used at on-premises, right? And then comes the Media Connect. Media Connect is basically a transport stream which helps you to distribute your stream securely using the IP economics of the cloud. Right? It's going to be much more secure. It uses all industry standard security aspects, and it distributes that particular single feed to multiple destination of heterogeneous protocol. Say for example, you can get an SRT as an input, as one input, and you can spin like SRT, RIST, and RTMP to all over the place, RTP to all over the places, right? So it's basically converting a single input stream into multiple streams and delivering it into different destinations across global, right? And trust me, there is almost like 30% cost saving compared to the satellite-based distribution, because we are here using the IP-based distribution as overall, right? It's a simple configuration for you, right? So this one is Elemental Media Live, is a fully managed broadcast-grade live encoding service for you, right? It can create high-quality videos for you, which is compatible both for the broadcast as well as for the internet-connected multi-screen devices. Be it a phone, or be it a connected TV or a game console, it enables to create a multiple variants of a video output, which is compatible for both broadcast as well as for the internet-connected devices, right? So it's very powerful, and it provides all other functionality like encryption and all basic functionality that is required as well. Media Convert, similar to Media Live. Here, Media Live is a live encoder, and Media Convert is going to be a file encoder. So that's the only difference, right? So it's a file live, and this is a file-based encoder. Media Packager is very, very useful because it's a just-in-time packaging services. If you see what is happening, if you want to distribute your content to the digital platform, there are different formats that you may need to use. Apple will use HLS, Android will use Dash, and there is a Smooth, Microsoft will use Smooth. So there are different type of formats available. And if you start creating a type of a static format every time, it's going to increase your cost, increase your storage, increase your processing cost, and also the delivery is also going to be very complex. How do you solve this? Is by the Media Packager. It's a just-in-time packaging. It just means you give one format, and at the runtime, it automatically creates multiple formats which is compatible to the device for you. And it is also provides functionality like stop, rewind, pause, and also the deferred live in case if you require. So just in case if you take a stream and if you want to give it in a different time zone, you will also be able to do a deferred live as well. The other interesting thing is that we also integrate it with the DRM as well. So we have a concept of a speak, which uses a common CPIX protocol, so Content Production Information Exchange Protocol, which basically is agnostic to the DRM vendor. So you can use a Speak protocol to integrate with any type of a DRM vendor of your choice and get your content encrypted as part of the media package, right? So it's a very interesting one. Media Tailor is super interesting. It provides you two basic functionality. One is it is a monetization pipeline for you. It creates a personalization and monetization, right? Which means if there is a SCTI marker that has been put on the stream, and if you want to do any type of an ad insertion for your digital platform, this is going to help you. So it identifies the SCTI marker, and then it will integrate with the ad decision server to pull the ads and insert the ads seamlessly. The interesting part of the Media Tailor is that it makes sure the quality of your actual video and the ad video is going to be the same. So you don't have the toggle between the quality of the videos. It makes it very smooth and better experience for the users. And it also tracks all the impressions as part of your whole workflow. So how many impressions have been created, how many ads have been inserted, and all that stuff. And the second important functionality that Media Tailor provides is something called channel assembly. So channel assembly is a feature, say for example, you have a set of WOD content already, but you want to create a type of a linear channel from that WOD content, right? So you no need to really retranscode this content again, right? You already have a processed packaged WOD content with you. If you can create a playlist using that particular WOD content, you will be able to create a type of a linear channel out of it, right? So it uses a manifest manipulation technology within in order to convert the WOD package content to a live streaming, to a linear channel, right? And interactive video services. Interactive video services is a type of an end-to-end services. Now we are talking about acquisition, storing, processing, and then delivery, right? So this is like a service which takes care of everything end-to-end. All you have to give is the input stream as an RTMP, and then it will try to do all the packaging based on the nature of the content, and it will be able to deliver the content as well. And it provides a low latency for you, right? So it's a low latency type of interactive video streams. And the other important feature that it provides is the interactive experience to the user. It helps you for inclusive video experiences. The way it's that you can send the interactive signals in the transport stream, which can be picked up by the player, and it can create an interactive signal UI for the users to make an interaction, right? So we also provide you the player SDK to interpret those type of interactive signals from the transport streams to create that type of an experience. Very useful. It is very useful for shopping, shoppable video creation, and whole lot, right? So it's very useful. AWS ThinkBox Deadline is a render form management. If you are in the graphics and if you want to do a lot of rendering that needs to happen, synthesize your images, ThinkBox Deadline is more popular in the render form field, right? A Deadline Cloud is a fully managed render form management which is fully available on the cloud itself. This is just a tool for rendering, but this will give you the complete type of a framework where you can do the complete render form of your content, right? It takes care of the queue, it takes care of the database, it takes care of the schedules, it takes care of your compute to do all the rendering operation that is required. And all you have to do is you just pay for the time that you render it. So it's going to be very cost effective compared to you investing a lot of infrastructure to do all the rendering process, which is very important and powerful. And thirdly, Amazon CloudFront. I think most of the people would have heard about the Amazon CloudFront. Is basically a content distribution network, and it is a global service which helps you to deliver the video in very effectively. It also accelerates the whole ingest and the delivery process of your video workflow. So it's going to be very useful. That's the type of a coverage. It's not limited to this, but we want to pick very important services that will be useful for this session, right? So over to you, Manoj.
Thanks, Mahesh. So basically, Mahesh spoke about all the interesting services that we've got. And I'm happy to let you know that if you look at the sheet, almost all the top M&E customers globally trust us and they are on us. Whether it is Netflix, whether it is Prime Video, whether it is Sony Live in India, whether it is Peacock, NBC. So just wanted to give you, and this I want you to take this as a takeaway because this is going to benefit the startup users in the long run. I'll mention it now. but I'll tell you why I'm mentioning this. We have got more than 600 partners. Okay, this is the power of our platform because you are a startup, you want to create anything in the M&E space and you want to quickly go into the market, you can actually plug and play any of these partners. Now coming on to the next slide, let's get into the actual facts about what Mahesh showcased you a lot of products and services that we've got. I told you how we are distributed from an industry perspective. So you are a startup in the content production space. How is this going to help you is what I'm trying to showcase. And I'll run quickly through the slides. These are some of the use cases that we normally see, whether it is pre-production, whether it is post-production, or whether it is a live production that they want to do. Now, he mentioned about these services. These are the services that you can use. And we have got 40 plus AWS partners who are into that particular domain.
Manoj, I will just touch upon these
Yeah, sure.
services as well, but because these two services I have not touched it already. So FSX is basically the high performance storage, right? We have different variants of high performance storage available. It could be FSX for Windows, FSX for ZFS, and it's going to be a Lustre, which is a beast for all the throughput. The reason why you need it is for any type of a post-production activity, you need to have a centralized type of a data store, right? Which is going to be very useful in terms of collaboration of the content. You have the content in one place, multiple editors access the same content from the centralized data store to do all the editing processes, right? Which is very important, and that's why we have something called FSX here, right? We have different variants depending upon your requirement, which can be really used. The other service that we have is Amazon DCV. It's a high performance client, right? It's a remote client which you can connect to the type of a GPU based instance or any type of an EC2 instance of your choice. And this gives you a protocol like Quick Protocol, which is a reliable UDP for accessing the remote desktop and doing any type of a streaming or editing activity for you, right? It also supports TCP/IP, and it is a high performance client, and it is also free to use with the EC2 instance, and there is no cost associated with it, specifically when you use it with the EC2 instance. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
So basically, based on this, what I wanted to showcase you want to see the actual truth now. We've spoken about product, we've spoken about services, but who are the kind of people? So we have a phenomenal bunch of customers who use us for content production, but the reference that I want to create was for Netflix, because Netflix is one of the customers who is in competition to Prime Video, but the amount of trust that they've showcased on us, and the testimonials are very clear on the slide. I don't want to take you through what exactly it is, but this is how Netflix uses content production ecosystem and our products and services to build something. Let's get on to the next one. This is again the rings of power. So this is another use case which we really want to bring it out. And if you look at the quotes that is mentioned on the screen, they say the future of production is all in the cloud. Now, as startup community, as startup builders, how are you going to help these enterprises, these large studios, by helping them onto this is something that we can help you out with. Now we come to the second part of this, which is media supply chain. Now in media supply chain, typically, I just wanted to showcase you, we mentioned about all the services. These are some of the use cases that we are seeing as attraction in the market. And like what I said, these are not use cases only restricted to India. These are use cases what we are hearing from global customers. And this is where, as a startup community, you can start building your products. Whether it is archival migration, whether it is media management, whether it is localization of the content, whether it is complete managing the entire media ecosystem workflow, we've got all the services which are core services where I spoke about storage and the other things, and also the elemental suite of products that we've got. And look at the 80 plus AWS partners that are there. So you take the name of who's who in the media supply chain, they all have built their solutions on AWS. And that is the power and the trust that we have earned. You wanted to speak?
Yeah, just want to touch on a couple of use cases here, which is very important. The archive migrations, we have a well-built type of an infrastructure to make our services to migrate your archival content onto the cloud. It could be either an online type of a migration to the cloud, or it could be an offline type of a migration to the cloud as well. So we have provisions like Snowball to have a type of an offline type of a migration, and if you have a direct connect, you can have an online type of a migration as well. And you can also go on with the hybrid type of a network to create, share the data between your on-premises as well as on the cloud. Content localization, you can actually leverage all the AI services to do the localization of your content. So we have all the managed AI services already available, which can be used for localizing your content. Media management, obviously we have a S3 bucket, which takes care of storing all your media assets in a secure way in a highly scalable manner, right? So you have media content exchange is very interesting because we also provide media content exchange. So IMDb is given through the media content exchange. Just in case if you want to integrate your IMDb for all your TV rating or title rating, we have the services to even integrate it with that. And orchestration is using the step functions and other things like that.
Thanks, Mahesh.
Over to you.
So one of the use cases that we have got was 25 petabytes of data was with BBC, and they wanted to move everything into the cloud. The reason, like what Mahesh said, is how do I extract the best out of that content? How can I give the new customer the value of that content? How can I engage that customer on the platform is a very classic example. So I thought I'll bring one of these slides. Going to the broadcast side and the live production side, you can typically see broadcast is a steady flow workload, but now even there is a complete combination and amalgamation of content creation to the distribution side of it. That's where in the live production space too, whether it is a linear distribution, and Mahesh touched upon live cloud production earlier in the scenario, and the playout that typically happens on premises, all that has slowly moved into the cloud with the help of service. And we've got 40 plus partners who are working with us today. If you are trying to build any solution, you can build a solution using these partners or our core primitive services, but we are there to offer you help on that. Now, one quick case study which I wanted to bring out is the NHL. In the NHL, the entire live production was completely done on the cloud, which means that today there is a sporting action happening. So in the earlier slide, I told you about there is an unprecedented demand for content in the ecosystem. Now, everywhere you cannot go and do a live production. That is where cloud helps you. So if an event is happening in Bombay, your production team is sitting in Delhi and your editorial team is sitting out of the world from any part of the location, you can still do a live production completely on the cloud, which reduces your cost because you don't need to come in and go out. And from a large enterprise perspective, these are carbon footprints that are saved. So anything that you developed on this is easily adopted by these large enterprises to come on.
To some extent, you can see this whole live production in our booth as well.
Yeah.
Please drop in, and we have a complete demo of it.
Thanks,
right?
Mahesh. So we have an Amazon booth in which we have put up a live demonstration of how you can do a live production. Coming on to direct to consumer. In the direct to consumer ecosystem, again, it's very clear. All the OTTs today that you see are direct to consumer. All the OTT players that are there have trusted us. I spoke to you about Netflix, Prime Video, Sony Live, Peacock. You take the who's of the world. They're all there, and Mahesh in the earlier slides explained to you about all the Elemental suite of products that are got. We have got 60 plus AWS partners. Partners, why? Because I want to create an OTT platform. I'm a startup. I don't have the bandwidth and the engineering team to actually do it. I can mix and match the partners to quickly go to the market and capitalize it. So what is the latest one? You may ask me, okay, I know about all the others, but what's the latest one? The latest one is NBC Universal. They've got their OTT platform called Peacock. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to create the complete live production during the Paris Olympics. What it essentially done is moving into the cloud, they were able to create 3,000 hours of additional content than the last Olympics. And that's the power of startups and the enterprise customers trying to build solutions on AWS. Getting on to data science and analytics, obviously with so many petabytes of data flowing in and out, how do you capitalize on that? How do you build solutions? And what are the things that we actually need to do there? Again, the use cases are many. In the interest of time, I'm not going to run on to each of these use cases. The services and solutions, typically what we spoke about, most of them been covered. Partners who are ecosystem who are there. But the proof of the pudding is to tell you what is exactly happening and how are somebody like F1 using it. So somebody said that F1 is not a race of autocars, it's a race of data. Because the kind of data that flows in and out, you can actually predict when the pit stop happens, how many seconds it should happen, who can win, who is leading, all the analytics. So what they did was they pushed out their 10 to 12 petabytes of content that was there in the archival, thus trying to create a beautiful fan engagement for the audience, because right now different camera angles, everything is possible through F1. So F1 works very closely with AWS, and AWS is created a separate data lab for F1 so that we can actually use the best of the data that is available to create that offering for their set of customers. And I'm sure many of you are F1 followers, you will also be trying to correlate or exactly on what I'm trying to speak about. Coming back to the monetization part of it, I started this in the beginning. We all are in the business of media and entertainment, but paisa kaise banayega? And monetization is what every media and entertainment customers wants to do. So when you look at monetization, I told you about subscription, I told you about advertising. When it comes to subscription, Mahesh spoke about how do you personalize, how do you use generative AI, how do you understand the data and offer the best content to the customer. So anything that our startup friends and startup partners are trying to build on this is widely accepted by, because the enterprises and the large enterprises are really hungry for it. One example that we want to show here is on the use cases, whether it is advertising innovation. Now you may ask, what is an advertising innovation? Advertising is advertising, but how do you have data collaboration for that? How do you build a complete clean room because based on that? So we have got a few set of products, a set of partner, but I want to bring out one example, which is the proof of pudding. So what happens is, this is one of the largest example which is referenceable. There are many in India who are trying to do it. Till the time it is referenceable and out, I'm not supposed to speak, hence I'm keeping it. NBC Universal has got a park. It has got, similarly, you can correlate to many Indian customers here. They've got a park, they've got a broadcast business, they've got a digital business. Now, how do they make more money? Because they have to, at some point of the time, use data and try to monetize. So what they have created is, they have created a very good ecosystem for advertising, which means that today I am here going to a park and my customer informations are available. You showcase me a fantastic ad of a new mobile phone. The next time when I'm actually watching something on Peacock, which is their OTT platform, they understand I'm the same user or the same cohort of user. It will show me the same ad and say that it has got one more built-in feature, which is actually exciting me now. The next time when I'm searching something on the commerce platform, okay, because of the data clean room, they're merged. They know that, okay, this is the same user who saw my ad, who even did something, and I showcase a second ad. Now I tell him that, okay, there is a credit card offer on it if I buy it in the next 24 hours. The tendency of conversion of that mobile phone is higher, which means that the user who is watching the platform got the right relevant ad and not any ad to disturb him because he really wanted to buy. And second thing, the advertiser who is putting money on the platform is also getting more returns out of it, as his money is not wasted in any other ads. At the end of the day, all of them are benefited out of it. The customer also benefits because it's not an ad which is intervening in between and trying to talk about things which he is not at all interested in, right? So just a quick example of that, but more we can deep dive. I can help you understand how it works. Thus, just wanted to put onto a slide which is like saying we have got millions of customers on our platform. We have got more than 100,000 partners like you all who are on the startup community. There are 240 services today that we offer. We have got around 102 zones which is available and 12 which are going to be announced, and 32 new regions which are there and 4 going to be announced, which makes it 36. This is the power of Amazon, the power of AWS that we want to bring it to you. Now, what is in for early age startups? Now, you're a startup community, you're here, how do I benefit? What is it that for you? So you look at it, I've just classified into 6-7 bullet points saying that how do I help there? Credits to help you test and build. So if you're a startup customer, how do you come onto our platform? How do you get the relevant credits? What are the programs that are there for? For example, if you're part of the M&E startup, what are the programs in for media and entertainment startups? What are the programs for an FSI startup? What are the programs for somebody who's building something on the manufacturing side startup? You'll get to know. Then there are a lot of enterprise connect programs. So many of the startup customers actually come to me and Mahesh and say that, okay, I have built a product which is very beautiful, but I don't know how to take this product to the enterprise customers because the enterprise customers are really looking for a small problem. And that is where I'm able to bridge and connect you because we've got a lot of enterprise connect programs. Then GTM. For example, if you are in reInvent or if you come to NAB or IBC or Broadcast India, we try to give space for all our partners who built our product. So we work with them on go-to-market. So if you're a product and you really want to spread across, we will give you place in our booth where you can demonstrate the power of your product which you have built on AWS, and we'll help you to go and speak there. Then there is an account management and tech review, which I said experts like Mahesh and Punya who are there who will come and help you on what is it best that you need to do to optimize your architecture, to save cost, how will you be able to make a complete, secure, compliant platform is what they come in and help you. And then guidance on selling on even Amazon.in. So for example, if you really want to have a commerce platform engaged, a mobile commerce built on your product, that is also possible. Before I go, I just want to showcase you how the startup community is helped by also being on the marketplace. So Mahesh mentioned about marketplace. What is a marketplace? It is a community basically of all the creators, all the builders who have built solutions on AWS. How do they go there? So there are 5-6 steps where they can go and there are some benefits. So if you look at it, it starts here when they are on AWS and then they become a marketplace partner. There are certain criteria for them to become a marketplace partner. They do that. Then they start building relationship with our sales team, which means that we become your extended sales teams to go to the market and pitch for your products, if your products are helping our customers. That is where you can demonstrate your value. and you explain to the consumer, and then you've got a lot of accelerate programs where you are an independent software vendor. We try to onboard you and we try to make you help. So the big companies of the world, the referenceable one, the Amagis, everybody, when they started, they were startup with the ecosystem and they were able to grow because we helped them to grow into different markets. And then how do you put your product on the marketplace? Because when you put your product on the marketplace, the whole world becomes a market, which I said earlier. You know, geography becomes history. There is no geography there. So your product is across the market, and anybody and everybody in whichever part of the world wants to build a solution, it is just a click and integrate.
Deploy.
So, yeah, that's how it can be done. Now, getting on to the last one, and this is the last slide where I said, not only do we offer our core competencies, not only we offer our technology, services, and all that stuff, but as Amazon, you can also leverage on the complete pan-Amazon thing, which means that if you're building something, you want to get integrated to Amazon Pay, we can still help you to go there. If you're doing something which the Prime Video is benefited out of it, we will help you reach there. If you're trying to do something and build a solution which needs help on the e-commerce side of the platform, we help you there. If it is really advertising, for example, Amazon ads, if you tell me that, okay, I built a product, but I'm not getting the right kind of advertisers on it, how can Amazon ads help me to build it? I can get Amazon ads integrated into it. Amazon business, there is complete business. We buy and procure a lot of stuff. So if you build something that is beneficial for Amazon, there is an Amazon business occupation also. And the last one is the last mile collaboration, which is shipping. So if you're building any startup product, which is a hardware product, which you really need to ship or something like that, we are there. The reason why I brought this slide is, it's not just technology here. What we are trying to say is we grow beyond technology. We are customer obsessed. We really want to make you competent, make you smart, make you successful. And therefore, we have got all the leverages other than technology also to help you. So that's what I thought, that is simple, but we are available in the stall outside. You can get onto the website. You can register yourself as a startup. You will have a lot of programs there. You can pick and choose those programs. We're happy to spend some time one-on-one with you here or in the down booth. I'm there, Punyaprata is there, Maheshwaran is there. And if there is anything that we can do for you to make you successful, happy to do that. Thank you so much for listening to us, and it was really a great pleasure.
Thank you so much.